Hi, this is Michael Josephson for the Josephson Institute of Ethics. I want to talk for a moment about the role that parents can and should play in the most ideal development of not simply their own children, which is critical to them obviously, but in terms of the school and the school environment that they participate in. And in some ways I'm going to talk both to the parents themselves, if some of you are watching this tape, but also to the school that is going to engage parents. The first and most important thing to recognize, and it's absolutely critical to all character counts developmental theory, is that the parents are a critical part of the triangle between the parent, the teacher, and the student. And whether or not the parent is active or not, what they do or don't do is the material platform upon which the teacher and school operate. And by the way, with teacher I add coaches, because I think sports programs are important. When parents have not done their job, and unfortunately we've seen a lot of instances of that, or frankly they've done a poor job or a negative job, they've helped reinforce negative kinds of notions and beliefs in students, it becomes the burden of the teachers to try to refix that and change that. And we can do that, but that's harder. Most parents, however, who are not doing the job as well as they could or should, let alone those who are maybe actually doing a bad job in the sense that they are teaching or reinforcing bad values, are not aware of it. So the first thing that we want to stress is that there has to be a partnership, a real active partnership between the school and the parents. And I don't just mean the PTA and the relatively few people, and God bless them, we know we need them, they're vital, who help sort of run the parental kind of role at that school. But it's almost always a relatively few. But looking at every single student and their parent as a team member to be involved somewhat in the school, and to look for ways to engage the parents. Engage them first and foremost in their own children's education. They're not going to necessarily come out to the meetings in the same way that they do when you're doing elementary school programs. They're not necessarily going to always answer your notes or your messages or even take your telephone calls. But if you are a school that cares and a teacher that cares, you must conscientiously try to reach out. And you can't just wait for parent-teacher night. That sometimes is too late or it's not enough and you have so many people before you. Find ways by sending a particular very personal note home, either complimenting the child or expressing some concern that you might want to talk about with the parent. But invite them to be engaged in a way that doesn't seem accusatory or threatening or saying that they're bad, but saying we can do better, or I want to share some things about your child, or I'd like to know some more things about your child so I can do a better job. A good school ought to have parenting nights, not just the teacher conferences, but literally, we call it Parent University. Let's deal with how you can more effectively help your students study. Now, for most parents, helping with the homework is not realistic. One, it may be beyond them. They haven't learned the new math or the new methods and the like. And frankly, very few, at least adolescents, by the time they get to middle and high school, are very anxious to have their parents looking over their shoulder on homework. But being sure that they do their homework, not simply as a nagging, but encouraging them, get this done so we can get this. And the more you do your homework, the more prepared you'll be. And try to find out how they're feeling about the school and how they're feeling about their own education, and participate in a teamwork with the school in trying to be sure they believe in their own education. Parent involvement can multiply the impact of any program that is started in the school, whether it's be in the sports program, whether it be in other co-curricular activities, or in any academic course. So, one, for you schools, I say, find ways to involve parents, invite them, reach out to them. Understand the greater the parental engagement, the greater result you're going to have. Now, I'm not talking about the hovering parent who is so engaged that they're trying to control everything, that anything can be in excess. But the one who is a team member with the school. And if you are a parent, don't wait for the school to do that. Your input is important, whether they seem to want it or not. It is important to your own child. Look for opportunities, volunteer to do things, ask questions of both your own child and of the school. And remember, you are such a critical part of this. You know, there's a statement that says, a teacher affects all eternity. You never know where his influence stops. Well, the first of all teachers is the parent. And to remember, you are affecting all eternity in the way in which you teach your children core values, things to help them make good decisions and to help them formulate meaningful goals and improve their lives and become a productive member of society. Thank you.